Welcome back, everyone, to another great episode of Baptized&Clueless. I'm your host, Yusuf, along with my co-host, Michelle. Michelle, how are you doing today?
I'm wonderful. Happy to connect with you guys again today.
Awesome. Well, it's lovely to have you here, Michelle. And Mr. Wesley, how are you doing today, sir?
Yeah, I'm doing all right, Yusuf.
Good to hear. Good to hear. Today, we're just going to dive right in. We want to talk about just as people, just how we are. And sometimes we are believers, we are followers in Christ, and we're trying our best to walk with Him. But we always notice Him for the big moments in our life, which is fantastic, of course. Big moments should be celebrated, should be recognized, and He should get all thanks and praise. But we have to remember that He's in the little things too. And if you really take the time to sit down and look at your life, you'll see His fingerprints all over your life.
Mm-hmm.
Just that sometimes we may have stepped away from it, or sometimes we're under it and got the blessing, we didn't realize that it's Him as well.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't a big enough moment for us to say, hey, look at God. Sometimes it's little quiet things that make things well. And so today I want to go through the things that we miss as followers and believers of Christ, and how we have to really recognize to give thanks for all things and recognize what they are. So
Mm-hmm.
when we think about our life itself, what are some of the things that you guys can actually point out that people may overlook? And I mean, we know we have the basics, and even the fact that I just said basics, Lord forgive me for that. We wake up every day, and that's thanks right there. And if you did nothing else for the rest of the day, could you complain?
Nope.
Right?
The small silver lining.
Exactly. And so, what are things that we generally just have a habit of just not paying attention to because we believe it's just supposed to be?
Mm. You know, one thing, I could say is that, like, I feel like, every day, I go through life, of course, we tend to focus on, like, the big things that God does for us, whether it's something like, oh, He helped us, you know, pay a bill, or He, helped us, financially in a way, whatever, He helped us get a job or whatever it may be.
Yeah.
We focus on those big things,
Yeah.
but it's those small things that we forget to, recognize. And of course, like you said, Yusuf, the one thing, people tend to overlook is that, is us waking up every day. But also, for me, I would say just being able to, you know, stay in my right mind. Because of course we all got our things that we go through in life, you know. We all got worries that we go through. We all got, stress, all that.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that, we're able to keep our right mind and not, you know,
True.
go crazy, and I know some people may end up going through that, but
Mm-hmm.
a lot of us, we still are able to go to sleep at night, and
Yeah.
be able to just not lose our minds in a way,
No, you're right.
because we all know mental health is real, and
Yeah.
it's God who, keeps us in that right mind. So I think that's something that gets overlooked a lot.
Easily. Because it's so daily for most of us that we.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, that's a very good point.
Mm-hmm.
Michelle, anything with you?
You know what? I have to say, one of the things I love about this podcast so much is that we talk about the topic in advance. And I think for me personally, in my own process in preparing for podcasting, I premeditate things that I think are relevant. But what I love is that the podcast is so authentic that it's just a conversation.
Yeah.
And just sitting here and having that conversation and listening to what Wes just said about your right mind, it's like, wow, that's profound. Like,
Yeah.
just being able to be in your right mind, to be able to make healthy and wise decisions, to be able to lean into the discernment that God has given you. Um, I know that walking into this conversation, there was something I was thinking about, but when you said it the way you said it, it made me look at what I was thinking about from a different angle.
Reassess it.
And it really made me realize, it made me realize that the thing I'm most grateful for God fingerprint on in my life is he always has me covered in my blind spots before I can ever, which is why it's called a blind spot,
Yeah.
before I can ever anticipate it. And
Yeah.
I'll give an example of that. The job that I'm at, it's it doesn't challenge me per se outside of my comfort zone, and
Mhm.
I enjoy being challenged. Um, but the season that God gave me this job in and the parameters that this job contains, when I say I could never have constructed a more perfect job for my life transition at that time,
Right.
the way that God handed me that job, the way he placed it in front of me, the way he gave me favor over getting the
Mhm.
job, I
That's it.
know it was only his hand on it. It was
Yeah.
only his hand. And I'll give context to that. When I was on maternity leave, my daughter is now 3.5.
Mhm.
Um,
All right.
my job reached out to me. I know time flies. My job reached out to me on something that I kind of knew was going to happen, which is they were going to let go of my position because of
Mm,
funding,
Yeah.
and they were going to I get to now bump someone else in the system and take their job. And I really didn't feel good about that. I said,
yeah.
and when they reached out to me, I said, oh, it's called identified for transfer.
Mhm.
Okay.
And when that happened, I said, give me a few months. Let me look for a job within the organization, because it's a large organization, so I can move
Yeah.
around pretty much
Yeah.
anywhere. And when I say favor, 3 job postings, all 3 I was overqualified for. And what that's not true. 2 of them I was overqualified for. One of them I was sufficiently qualified for. I
Mm,
applied to all 3. I got all 3 back to back. But the
Mhm.
last
wow.
one that was interviewing me is the one I really, really wanted.
Mhm.
And I'll give context to that. But I was scared because for me to take that job meant I had to move from a state unionized position to a non-unionized exempt
That's
position,
always a hard one.
which means,
Mm,
right, which basically means that if they don't like me in 3 to 4 months, they can
See
hand
ya.
me, and now I'm out of the whole system.
Yeah.
Whereas before I was protected.
Right.
But
mm,
the difference is that job literally paid hourly double what I was being paid in any role before,
Okay.
and was giving me part time.
What?
And so, which meant I was
mm,
That sounds good.
able to work part time and still make a full time salary.
Yeah.
And
mm,
I was like, God, I didn't feel any fear. I just knew that this was God preparing the way for me. But the
Yeah.
thing is, in
yeah.
that moment when I received that job, there was a lot of turmoil that happened in the 2 years following it. That
Mhm.
if I had not been working part time, I don't know what I would have done. And
Yeah.
I say that to
Yeah.
say it was a blind spot. I had no clue what was to come ahead of me. And I know everything that came ahead of me was orchestrated by God. And to know he was just like, this is the area that's going to impact you the most if it's not okay. The
Mhm.
rest of it, I know that I have prepared you to navigate what you're about to walk through.
Right. Right.
But the way that that job lined up, and when I say that job is an anomaly in a system that
Yeah.
my organization employs over 10,000 people,
Jeez.
and over 10,000 people, that type of role, that type of wage, that type of structure hourly, and I also get to work hybrid one of my 3 days that I work per week.
Yeah.
That's why you're on the
So
show.
I
Yeah.
say that to say, right. So I say that to say only God himself could have orchestrated that for me.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
That,
Exactly.
and I knew that. And so when you just said, Wes, like that keeping your right mind, I'm like, it's those small things that sometimes we really overlook,
Yeah.
that we forget how his fingerprint was like, listen, child, I have you. I know the storms that are about to come,
Yeah.
and I am preparing. You even waking up with the right mind. It's God saying, I know the storms that are about to come before you might even make you lose your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I will wake you up
Yeah.
every morning with a right mind. If you just keep leaning into me, I will ensure that your right mind is intact. Your discernment is
Mm,
intact.
Mhm.
Your foundation that keeps your home together is intact.
Intact.
mm,
I can't promise you there won't be storms as a Christian,
Right.
but what I will promise you is that the things that will keep your life intact and your right mind intact, I've got you.
He's our
yes.
If you
he's
just
our
lean
umbrella.
into me.
It's so
He is.
true. It's
Oh, I
so
like
true.
that. I like that analogy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
So true. Oh, put on a t-shirt. Do not air just celebrate that. But I just
Lots
say
of
that,
t-shirt
Michelle.
moments here.
I'm telling you. But I just say that, Michelle. It's like for the last couple of weeks. I didn't think I was gonna say this on the show, but my dad was in the hospital for a couple of weeks, and he's home now. Thank God for that.
yes. Thank God.
But
Amen.
but can I tell you how? I recognize that he knew when to have me laid off.
I
He knew
think
that I
the
had the
same
time.
thing.
The amount of traveling I was doing back and forth between the homes,
Yeah.
Man.
I couldn't do this while I was working.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
if I can trust him on the timing, I can trust him on everything else.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
And it's the timing that we have a hard time with, because for us, our life is based on time. The minute we're
Yeah.
born,
Right.
everything's based on, okay, you should be walking by this time. You should be talking by this time. You should be eating salads by this time. You should be potty trained by this time. You should be in this grade, that grade, that grade. You should be out of school now. You should be doing, like, everything about us is time. So this is probably why it's so
Right.
hard for us to be able to recognize that God is outside of time. He controls time. He created time. He's always on time, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
And the whole thing is that we have a hard time with that. But the truth of the matter is, if we actually just recognize that that is part of his fingerprints in our life, his time has never been
Mm.
off. It's
Mm-hmm.
always for a purpose. And
Yeah.
that brings in the next thing. Like, when he does a blessing for us, it's never just about us.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
For
Yeah.
all we know,
Yeah.
when you went for those jobs, those other two that didn't get you, it made them go like, okay, the
Mm.
next candidate was so and so. This who Michelle beat out, but no, the next candidate was pretty good too. Now we can choose them. And
Yeah.
it made that much easier for
Mm-hmm.
them to see
Right.
and do a comparison kind of thing. Like, we don't know, because God moves in so much different ways, and
He
we have
does.
to learn to be thankful for the things that don't happen as well, because it has to
Mm-hmm.
be for a reason,
Yeah.
right? Before we got on the
Yeah.
air, I was telling you guys about me missing an exit on the highway, which I would never miss.
Mm.
Yeah.
And I also did something that I normally wouldn't do, which is drive between two trucks, not out of fear, but who wants to be between two trucks?
Yeah.
For someone to sneeze
Right.
and swerve the trailer, and no, I'm good. So I'm between them, like, okay, this is going the direction I'm going
Wisdom.
anyways. I'm like, I'm forgetting that it goes from 3 lanes to 2 lanes, and I still see two trucks beside
Mm.
me. I miss my exit. Now I'm heading to Toronto. I'm like, no, I don't want to go
Oh.
to Toronto.
Yeah.
But I have to stop and think about it. The one time I missed my exit, which never happens. I've been driving that route now for the last 5, 6 years.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
one time I missed that
Yeah.
route, who knows what was ahead? Who knows if it was
Mm-hmm.
too late? I won't
Yeah.
even say anything dangerous like life threatening. So who knows what was up that he's like, nope, don't need to see it. Just keep
Yeah.
going this way,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
It,
You're right.
we have a tendency of just thinking what we think should be is the way it should be. And what we see as grateful is what we should be grateful. And it's like, you gotta look at the little things as well.
Mm.
The things that we say little, but really
Yeah.
actually it's not,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
If
No.
he takes care of all the details, to him it's not little.
Right. Right.
He
Mm.
knows the number of
Like,
hairs on her head, takes care of all the birds and bees. He knows everything. Go ahead, Wes.
yeah, yeah. And, just to piggyback off of that, when you say that, like, he's in the little things, it just reminds me of how, um, you know, God is definitely like orchestrating our lives, because, when we when we're in it, we don't see it. But
Yeah.
it's like when we're out of it, and we look back at it and we're like, "Oh God, I see how you were connecting this with this
Mm-hmm.
to lead up to this." Like when you were giving your story about your dad, Yusuf, and
Mm-hmm.
how, when at the moment when you got laid off from your job, of course at the moment it didn't feel good,
Yeah.
you know? But now that you see everything that's going on with your dad and how you have to, spend more time, helping him with that. And now that you look back at it and you're like, if you were in your job, you wouldn't have been able to do this. Like, it just connects it. And it's like, that's why when it says that his ways are higher than our ways, like that's what it means. It's like,
Exactly.
in the moment it may seem bad, but when we look back at it, we're gonna see how God was connecting this with this.
Yeah.
And so that's just what I was thinking of.
As you're saying, I'm looking at the Bible and just thinking, like, is it that we just, because we value big things, we think that he also values big things. And
Yeah.
it's proof throughout Luke and throughout Matthew's that he cares about all little things, right? It
Mm-hmm.
talks about how he takes care of the flowers, he takes care of the birds. He's all about those little details. So I don't know what is it. We have a lot of mind shift and spiritual shift to do, individually and collectively as followers of Christ.
Mm-hmm.
He really cares about everything. He cares
And you
about.
mentioned,
Go ahead.
oh, you could go, Michelle.
No, as soon as Yusuf just said that, I literally was, as you said that, I was actually muted and looking at my Bible for
Hmm.
that same verse in Matthew.
Yeah.
Mm.
See?
'Cause
Yeah.
my spirit was leading me there, and then you said it out loud. And it says, Matthew 6:25, therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, or what you will wear.
Yeah.
Is not life more than food and the body more than clothes? Look at the
Yeah.
birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? Can any one of you, by worrying, add a single hour to your life? And why do you worry about clothes? See how the flowers of the field grow. They do not labor or spin. Yet I tell you that not even Solomon in all of his splendor was dressed like one of these. If that is how
Mhm.
God clothes the grass of the field, which is here today and tomorrow, is thrown into the fire, will he not much more clothe you? You of little faith. Ouch, that hurts.
Yeah.
So do not worry, saying, what shall we eat and what shall we drink and what
Mhm.
shall we wear? For the pagans run after these things, and your heavenly Father knows that you need them. But seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given unto you as well. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. That's
Now,
good.
they're talking about how we should have a faith that God takes care of everything. But it's like
Mm-hmm.
we also have to make sure that if we know He's taking care of everything, then look at everything that's taking place for your day. Before you shut your eye, you should have a laundry list of
Yeah.
thankful things for. Unless you didn't do
Mm-hmm.
anything when you woke up, you just opened your eyes and laid there. But even that, you still
Mm-hmm.
got something to thank for. But it's like we just go through the motion of life too much, too often.
Yeah.
A lot
Yeah.
of times
Right.
we like, okay, what do I pray about? I don't know what to pray about today. What do you mean you don't know what to pray about? If you just pray and just give me thanks alone. But
Hmm.
we always
Mm.
equate prayer with, well, I don't know what to ask for and I've already prayed on that. Well, how about just thanking him?
Right.
How about just
Right.
letting him know that,
You
hey,
know,
I see you. Yeah.
Hmm.
and sometimes I get upset with myself because my prayer, I feel like I'm always sitting in this place of thanksgiving with prayer and I'm not moving my prayer around and looking at different areas to pray over. But this verse just reminded me that it's not just Thanksgiving is really important,
Yeah.
but a prayer of teaching better stewardship, because the verse is talking about everything he gives you,
Yeah.
but everything he gives you is because he expects you to steward it.
Yes,
The
that's right.
clothing, the food, the resources, everything he gives you. And I want to open my prayer more to stewardship over the things he gives. Because I know
Yeah.
every single night I say a prayer and I thank God for, I live in a little condo and I say, God, thank you for giving me a place to live, a safe and comfortable roof over my head and my children.
Yeah.
I thank you, God, for my children, for teachers, for just for being able to provide food for my children today, for being gainfully employed today. I thank God
Mm-hmm.
for I say quote unquote the little things every day, but I want to also expand that prayer. And that verse just reminded me that he's already the provider.
Yeah.
He knows he's the provider.
Hmm.
I know
Yeah.
he's the provider.
Mm-hmm.
Let me become a better steward of what he provides.
Yeah.
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 And Michelle, I remember when you talked about how you were teaching your kids how to pray and
Yeah.
you were
Yeah. I have no lessons.
teaching them, yeah, and you were teaching them how to be thankful,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yeah.
not only be thankful, but to also, recognize the things that they,
Repent for.
yes, yeah, you basically repent for,
Mm-hmm.
say
Right.
sorry to God for. And so,
Yeah.
it's a two-way street,
Yeah.
we could be thankful, of course, but we also need
Mhm.
to focus on, like you said, the areas that we need God to, heal us in.
Can I point out something?
Right.
Michelle, you're talking about expanding um for stewardship as well, and
Hmm.
for just
Hmm.
not just prayer of gratitude, which is obviously you're not saying not to do it, but
Oh yeah, no, it's
in your
huge.
prayer definitely ask for wisdom because that's where it
Hmm.
all will stem from, right?
Thank
So
you. Thank you.
James 1 verse 5. If you need wisdom, ask our generous God, and He will give it to you. He will not
Hmm.
rebuke you for asking.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine? It's not saying you got to be this first. It doesn't say you should
Wow.
be saved. It doesn't say you have to burn this offering. It's like, no, if you want wisdom, ask for wisdom, because in that wisdom that He gives
Mm.
you, you'll be opened up to understanding a lot more. and see things
Right.
differently. And sometimes that's what we need to just a simple ask of that to get the scales off our eyes.
Yeah.
Thank you for that reminder. Thank you.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's something that we
Mm-hmm.
all need to do because I mean, I would have dropped that. God asked you, "What do you want from me, Yusuf? Anything you want, I'll give it to you." I'm like, I'm like, don't ask me, Lord, when I'm hungry. I will, I will ruin that one.
Yeah.
But let's face it, how wise do you have to be to ask for wisdom in the first place?
Think
Mm.
of think of Solomon honestly, because God really honored Solomon because that was the only thing he asked for.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that's like okay. I'm not trying to blaspheme. It was like, remember the first time as kids you heard about people talking about the ultimate wish to have for a genie? It's to ask for more wishes,
Yes.
right? That's the ultimate wish to ask for more wishes, right? And it's like at the end of the
Yeah.
day, people started putting stories there, and you can't ask for more wishes, so that was canceled. So now all of a sudden the genie's worthless. But here's a real story.
Oh
And
man.
this man is smart enough to ask, like, what? How much wisdom do you have already? He had humility,
Mm,
he had wisdom, he had discernment, he had understanding of
mm,
God enough to know that I'm so lowly, I don't want to make any mistakes. You know what? I want to do the right thing. He asked for wisdom,
mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
And God gave him way more than wisdom.
way more than wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Way more than wisdom.
Yes.
He said, the stuff you didn't ask for, I'm going to give that too. I
Yeah.
mean,
Mm,
I know it
Man.
talks about his fingerprints in our life and the little things that we miss sometimes, but bottom line, his fingerprints in our life,
mm,
period.
Right. Period.
yes.
Yeah.
He just will make a way when we don't think there is a way. He's opening doors before we even get
Yeah.
to the
Mm-hmm.
doorstep.
Mm-hmm. You know,
Yeah.
one thing a pastor said is that your name is being mentioned in spaces that you didn't even think of.
True.
Yeah.
That's so
Rooms you've never been in.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, my wife is living proof of that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
tell us. Tell
Like
us.
she's she's got her business going and her country going. And it's like I've seen her build it over the years, and I'm there to help her as little as possible because
Mm-hmm.
it's not my
Yeah.
space. I'm there to support a hundred
Yeah.
fifty percent, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it's like when that time comes that he sees the work that's being done, he sees your heart, and sees all the other things you're doing as well, and he starts to open doors. He
Yeah.
started making plans from way back when he
Mm.
started putting your
Yeah.
faith that Lord, lead in this, lead in this, lead in this, lead in this, or take this or guide that. I mean, he starts opening
Mm-hmm.
doors for the future. When he gets to that point, he wants you to be prepared for when those doors open.
Yeah.
And like doors are
Yeah.
opening now, and it's like, oh wow, look at this.
Mm-hmm.
Where we started with the company itself, it's like this is what we thought it was going to be, except now the company is even
Mm.
more and more refined and better, and now
Yeah.
it's being recognized for what it is. And now she's being asked for certain
Yes.
things, and now people are like agreeing with what the ask is, and it's like it's all God.
Mm-hmm.
Fingerprints all over the
Yeah.
whole entire pathway, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And so that's
Mm-hmm.
what you have to understand. He can do anything instantaneously, of course he can. But
Mm-hmm.
if you pray
Mm.
for today, and he knows it's something that you won't be ready for until 2 weeks from now, 2 months from now, 2 weeks from
Right.
now. He's not giving you something for you to fumble it,
Right. Right.
No, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like,
That's why.
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's why, like you mentioned, it's up to us to, be prepared in that moment because, like you said, he's not gonna give us something that we're gonna fumble it, and so
Mm-hmm.
he'll wait if he has to wait.
Exactly. 'Cause he got all the time.
Yeah.
When he looks at his watch, metaphorically, when he looks at his watch, he's really looking at time. Like he's like, okay, because he's above it, he's outside of it, he
Yeah.
controls it. It
Mm.
doesn't
Yeah.
it doesn't it doesn't it doesn't affect him in any way.
Nope.
Right? So he can wait.
Mhm.
I'm like, he just moves, but I don't want to miss the small things. I also want to see
Yeah.
the big things.
Mm.
I want to see the
Yeah.
connecting things. The connecting things are so beautiful. When
Mm.
he lets you
Right.
meet someone that is an answer to the prayer that you had. When he uses people, that's so
Mm.
amazing. He's like,
Yeah.
he's literally sees Shrimpy like, I had a conversation with one of our past guests, and
Mhm.
Mhm.
he he was asking, "Oh, when's the episode coming up, or when are we gonna talk up again?" And I was talking to him, and I said, "Hey, there's one topic I want to talk with you," and it was about his personal life. And he goes, "Oh, okay, I know what you have to do with it now." And we were talking
Oh wow.
baptism, and so he's like, "See, that's a side right there, and that's how God uses people."
Yeah.
Mm,
Yeah.
Someone says a prayer, he'll bring someone to confirm it. He's not necessarily bringing you as a solution because we're never going
yeah.
to be a solution, but he'll bring someone to confirm it. Or if you're part of the solution, it's someone who
Mm,
he's already blessed to be in a position to say, "Yeah, I can help you with that," or "I can give you this," or "Yeah, this is what you need."
right.
Right? This is
Mm,
how you work consistently. And it's like, even when we're being used by God as a helpmate for somebody else, recognize that.
Mm,
It's like, it's not
mm,
your direct blessing, but it's a blessing to be used by the Lord. Don't overlook that.
mm,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. And
Gosh.
I also want to just mention how, you know, me being in the group that we're in, Yusuf,
Mm-hmm.
even that alone, it made me recognize how God has been having his hand on me and
Yeah.
helping me through the years, because
Mm-hmm.
you know it wasn't until I got into the group with you guys that I started reflecting on the small things that God was doing in my life,
Yeah.
because it was you guys that made me recognize that, and it was you guys that made me recognize how God has been helping me through the years,
Mm-hmm.
because honestly, like, the fact that I'm even on this podcast with you guys, like,
mhm.
it's a miracle that God has been working on me,
Sure.
Yeah.
So you
We're
don't know,
honored for
man.
that miracle.
So you don't know. When I tell you, you would not even know Wes was in the room. You're gonna chat with like six people,
Wow.
you wouldn't know Wes was
Oh
there
my
at all. And like then when we talk about their testimony of the day and kind of and then who's always willing to go last? Like
Yes, yeah.
it's like, Wesley, we didn't forget about you. He's like, oh, trying to stay quiet.
Try to stay quiet.
Like, bro, you were quiet for 2 hours. He's like, he's good. He'll let it pass, but that's not him anymore. He doesn't do that anymore. It's like that's
Yeah,
God. That's God working on you.
yeah, yeah.
Put you around people who will actually encourage you to do what you think you wouldn't be comfortable doing.
Yeah.
Definitely, definitely, man, definitely.
He's got plans for all of us, man. He's not waking us up just to fill a day.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm,
That day is a day for building. That day is a day for correction. That day is a
I
day
love
Mm,
that.
for forgiveness. It's a day for a lot of things, but it's all for His glory and His kingdom. If we recognize that's what our life is about, we start looking for those kind of things.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah, yeah.
We
Yeah.
uh we had a men's meeting in one of the many groups we have. And uh, our fellow brother Darren was curating it that night. He was facilitating, and he got to the
Mm,
question of asking like,
Mm,
what is that we're passionate about? And it's kind of like when he got to me, like everyone had their great answers, whatnot. But when he got to me, it's like you get to such a point in your life where it's like, if it's not him involved in it, I don't want to do it.
yeah,
yes.
If I
yeah.
think I'm on the right path, and it's just me, one in the room saying, "Yeah, that's good, right, Lord? Hello, Lord. Lord, you there?"
Yeah.
If he's not there answering, I don't want it. And here's the hard part.
Yep.
Okay, imagine you only hear it once the product is finished, once you're at the finish line. And he's like, that was never me. That was not for you. Are
Wow.
you willing to let it go?
Mm,
Yeah,
Right? If his
yeah.
fingerprint's not on it, why bother? Why
Mm,
bother?
yep. Feel that.
mm,
I
mm.
feel that.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
wow, I'm really at a different space. Because if you'd asked me this 10 years ago,
Yeah.
I got this
Yeah.
idea, got that idea, got to answer this and that. And if they come with this, I got that, me. And then when it falls short to what I really want, I'm like, man, people suck anyway. So
God,
you know
man.
what
Oh,
I mean?
gosh.
Blame somebody else, find some reason why it didn't work, whatever case it be. But it's like you didn't bring God into it. Because if he
Yeah.
told you
Yeah.
that idea doesn't give me glory, that's a little
Mm,
selfish. And you're expecting a
mm.
lot from other people. Like, what are you really offering?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And Yusuf, one thing you would always mention is how God doesn't waste nothing,
Oh,
and
Jesus.
when you talked about when Darian asked that question,
Mm-hmm.
what is your passion?
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's something that God like didn't really intend for you like didn't really like intend it for you to like be on the path that he wants you to be on, like he's still not gonna waste it. He's still gonna use it to glorify him in a way, you know?
Yeah.
And so when it comes to him not wasting nothing, like he gave us the passion for a reason, you know?
Yeah.
It's just that, you know, maybe it wasn't what you thought it was because like it wasn't until you guys mentioned how sometimes it's not always your you know career that God intended for you to use
Yeah.
mainly for his glory, you know. God may have had something else for you,
Yeah.
you know. It's just that he is going to use it, you know,
Yeah.
whatever career you're in, he is going to use it to glorify him, but it may not be the main thing.
Not
And
main
an
chief.
example yeah, an example of a good example of that is you know this pastor Pastor Mike Todd. He was in like his passion was music. You know, he wanted to be a producer, and God told him no.
Right.
Yeah.
God told him no, that he wants you to go into wants you to go into another direction, and that was preaching, and that was never in his book
Yeah.
to do that.
He was lined up for music as well. Like he was
Yeah,
getting the big names.
Yeah.
he was, and
That's a
God
tough
said
one.
no. God said, he said you could go in this. He said you could go in this and be successful, but my hand is not gonna be on it. And that goes back to what you were saying, Yusuf, how um if he's not in your passion, then you don't want it. And that's exactly how Pastor Mike Todd was. He said he doesn't want it either if his hand is not gonna be on it. And so he did preaching. And while and the thing is, years after he, you know, was in the preaching, God was able to use his music again,
Yeah. Yeah.
his
Yeah.
music gift.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because when you talked about the fingerprint of your life, I just had this conversation with a friend this week. We were joking about a movie we had watched, and in the movie, the person had to choose between the rich person. It was actually the man who got to choose between the rich woman and the poor girl, but he ended up choosing the poor girl. And my friend was joking me and saying, "Oh, which would you choose, the rich guy or the poor guy?" And I said to him without hesitation, which definitely at a previous point in my life I wouldn't have ever answered this way, but without hesitation, it was conviction and fire when I responded. I said, I'm going exactly where God sends me. I don't
Right.
care about rich or poor.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going where God sends me. And I have to say, like, the reason that I was so convicted of that was because in the season where I have to now expose myself to navigating the potential of dating again,
Yeah.
ah, when I tell you, I will go nowhere that God doesn't tell me to go. I'm hiding. When I say I'm hiding behind his shield, I am hiding behind him. If he
Yeah,
doesn't say you
yeah.
go there, I'm not
You're not
going. I don't want nothing in my life
Yeah.
that God's fingerprint is not on. If it's projects I'm working on, if God's fingerprints on it, not on it, I'm not doing it. And
Yeah.
you don't get too many friends. And this is why I'm always grateful for this circle that we podcast together in, because we're very like-minded. And it's a blessing to have friends who will also respond. If
Yeah.
God's fingerprint isn't
Yeah.
on it, I'm not going.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not walking that way. I'm not going that way. I'm not running that way. I'm not crawling that way. And I will say no to something that seems so lucrative to the world.
Mm-hmm.
It-
Mm-hmm.
That
If
that
if God's fingerprint ain't on it.
that
And it's
is it.
easy.
That is your moment of being on the mountain and the devil has his hand around your shoulder talking about, but you can have all this.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yeah.
you fraud.
Yeah,
I'm worried about eternity, not about the next 20 years.
You
yeah.
said it right.
Straight up.
Mm-hmm.
You
Like
know?
I was gonna mention that. I was gonna talk about that. How, you know, in these times, it's like it's so difficult to even recognize if his fingerprints is on you know, whatever path you're going on, because you know
True.
the devil can also give, you know, can also give like so-called blessings in a way, you know, because you know
Mhm.
you may think that, oh, this career path that you may think that this job that you're going in is a great job. Like it has great benefits and all that.
Right.
But God never intended you to be there. God intended you to be in that job that's paying less, you
Yeah.
know, because
Yeah.
there are people there that He wants you to bless.
Or he wants
Mm-hmm.
to put you in a certain heart posture so you get
Mm,
ready for the bigger
Yeah.
thing, because
yeah.
he's not keeping us in a lowly position just to stay lowly. What we
Mm,
perceive as lowly may not even be as lowly.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if money is lacking, then he will make a way for things to
he
be
does.
increased. But he wants
Hmm.
your heart posture
Yeah.
to be a certain way. He wants you to help certain people. So, everyone has a different walk, and
Yeah.
that's okay.
Yeah.
But it's like
Yeah.
a lot of times again, we focus on the Big Bang. Like, this is great, this is fantastic. See how good God is.
Yeah.
He was good
Yeah.
before you got this. He's been good this
Mm,
whole time, and you're only recognizing it now. Weren't you just grubbing 2 months ago? Lord, I don't
mm,
know about this anymore. It's like
yeah.
I've done it before. Prayed for something that I shouldn't even be in, and that's what we do a lot of times. So we
Mm.
think, well, Lord, this is
Oh
what I
yeah.
really like. Could you? And God's like,
Mm,
since you're praying to me, you're asking for my direction. This is a no.
Yeah.
mm,
And then
yeah.
what do you do?
And there's
Cry later on.
so
Why,
much
Lord?
power.
Oh yeah.
There's so much
Hmm.
power in what Wes just said in terms of sometimes it's the enemy. That goes right back to something that I'm always very vocal about, which is you gotta spend time in consecration with God so that you
Mm-hmm.
can understand that discernment and the wisdom to know when this is God and when this is not God.
Mm-hmm.
He
Yeah.
has patterns for every person, and the way he communicates to each person is different. But how do you know what that pattern is with you if you don't spend time in relationship with him? You've got to
Yeah.
spend alone time with him. You've got to build that relationship with him. You've got to understand how he communicates with you. Is it through repetition? Is it through dreams? Is it through signs? Like, what is it that he gives
Yeah.
you that you know is his way of communicating with you? And you see the fruit of it, not just, oh, this has happened multiple times and I see this pattern, and this pattern might mean no, like his fingerprint will be on it. There will be peace that comes with it, and there will be a certain level of repetition. There's always a signature on it, but we don't know what his signature is for us if we don't spend that quality time with him.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Hmm.
100%.
Hmm.
No, this is saying, and the time that we spend with him is to learn him. If you learn his ways, guess what that actually relieves you of? You have less anxiety, you have less doubt,
Yeah.
you have increased faith, you move in that increased faith, you have more grace, you have more patience, you have more peace, you have more understanding. Like, it leads to all the right things you need. The things that we struggle with, he'll resolve if we spend the time with him, but it's like we're not doing that enough.
Yeah.
And we are doing it for as best as we think we can right now, but there's always more we could do. And not to sidestep, but if your boss asks to do more, people find a way to do it.
Mm,
People find a
True.
way to do it. I know you work the 8 hours, but could you stay another 45 minutes? I need to do something. So you're like, man, I gotta go pick up the kids, whatnot. You find yourself calling your partner, your spouse, whoever, and be like, could you pick up the kids?
Right.
I have 45 minutes extra. You make a way somehow, right? So it's
yeah.
like God asks us to spend time with him for a reason. And in fact, he doesn't even need a reason. We don't even need to know it. He asked for it. That's what he should be getting at the end of the day,
Mm,
True.
right?
yeah.
As it sounds,
Yeah.
because, well, okay. I'm gonna say something again, just being funny. If God was a Jamaican,
Oh, gosh.
come on,
I
man.
love where this is
You
going
you
already.
you know Jamaicans can be, it's like, cause I said so. Do as I say, not as I do. It's like I'm grateful he's not like that, because honestly, imagine the repercussions of that. We're worried about getting some lashings. We're worried about getting boof.
Man.
With him, it'd be a lot worse. Like, he will, like, even if something you don't understand, he'll give you the peace, like, because you're crying out to him that you don't understand. He'll give you the peace with, like, I've got you. You're sitting in your anxiety and fear right now. And he'll
Mm,
remind you of the many times he's come through for you, and you'll be like, Lord, I was tripping. I'm so sorry.
mm,
Right?
yeah.
It was the
Yeah.
Caribbean, though. It'd be a whole nother story. It's like, no, 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 you're not listening, and I gotta break you. It's like, but I'm only 7. Okay, I'm getting traumatized. I'm getting triggered. I'm gonna stop.
Oh, gosh.
I'm only a child. Why are you doing this to me?
Oh, man. Caribbean parents, man.
Caribbean parents. Oh my gosh, unique. Unique.
Yeah.
I don't know. Here's one day we were talking on while we're on this topic, we were talking on one of our group chats, face to
Yeah.
face camera call, and
Yeah.
this guy was describing his dad, and I was like, wait a minute, is your dad Jamaican? Just based on how his dad responds was, oh, they had the same name. He's a junior, his dad's a senior. And
Oh
the
dear.
mom called him by the actual name, not by their senior junior
Yes.
compartments, right? And the father looked at him and said, she's talking to you. Like, I was like, is your dad Jamaican? That's such a criminal response. If he doesn't like the way it's being said to him, it's not him.
It's not. Yeah.
Your mom is calling you. It's like, wait a minute.
I think your wife was calling you. Dad. No, she can't talk to me, so
Oh,
are
no,
you
no.
can talk to?
You cannot say your wife. You're mad. That is fixed to the ground.
It out loud, but when the street
Out loud.
Oh,
crazy now.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
funny. Oh man. Well, I want to thank you guys for taking the time to always sit here and talk about Christ and talk about how
Yes.
God is to us.
Mhm.
Fingerprints is everywhere, as we all agree with, and we just have to recognize where it's at. His fingerprint will
Yeah.
push us forward or hold us back, but it's always developing us, and he's had his fingerprints in our life from day
Mhm.
one.
Yes.
I'm just glad that
Yes.
I'm doing this life with both of you and all the other
Yes.
believers of Christ that we go through at church with, or we have our small groups, or whatever chats we have. But it's like growing in God
Yeah.
is the way to go, and I'm just glad that we're doing it.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen. Mm-hmm.
So I want to thank everyone for listening to this episode. Make sure that you pay attention to the little things that you think are little, but pay attention to them. God's in them as well. And he'll
Yeah.
take care of you either way, because that's his promise. It's written down. You can read it. So thank you all again for this episode. And join us back next week when we have another topic of great conversation. We appreciate you guys coming out. Everyone have a great one.
Yes. Take care.
Have a good one.